everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I am here with the evil morph god himself, Kevin at Nerd. What in the heck? This is an albino water monitor, but it's white. What's the deal?
Yeah, so it's like a, basically it's a patternless P-negative albino celebensis.
Wow.
So if she wasn't so dirty, that's the thing about all your albinos, they get really dirty and stuff like that.
Right, because they're rolling in the, they're obviously digging and stuff like that. The darker animals you don't see, they have the same amount of dirt on them, you just don't see them. We're gonna do an entire monitor show here because Kevin really rewrote the book on monitor keeping, to be totally honest with you, over the last couple decades, and also has produced some of the most insane monitor mutations. So we're just gonna have a monitor day. What do you say we get started? Oh my gosh, dude, what in the world? What's this dude?
We got some urban dinosaurs right here. So these are some adult Asian water monitors right here. This guy's name is Thor. He's one of our big breeder albino males. And look at how awesome this guy is.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Now this has to be one of the original albinos, right? It's
actually one of the offspring of.
Yeah, it's one of the offspring of, so this is an F2 albino from you.
Yeah.
Wow. I tell you what, I need some albino water monitors. You guys know I love water monitors, and here's a little baby girl right here. How you doing, sweetheart? And this is a heterozygous albino. Yeah. Wow. Sheesh. This is so cool. I mean, these are truly urban dinosaurs.
Amazing.
I mean, it is
as close as you can get to having a Komodo dragon for a pet. How cool is that?
Oh my gosh. Woo! Tell you what, I love these guys. And Kevin has some incredible ones. Of course, that's where Night Fury came from. Elvis came from here. So we're going to definitely be getting some new monitors this next year as well to add to the Reptarium's expansion. Kevin, I mean, like I had mentioned, you kind of rewrote the book on monitors in a way. You know, I mean, 10, 12, whatever, however long ago, you were doing all this habituation stuff. And I know a lot of the monitor guys thought what you were doing was crazy. And now everybody does what you do, you know, and I'm not even sure that some people realized you were the one that started it.
So it's all socialization of these monitors, and basically I was working within the mind of these animals, and we go through the modes, the sleeping, thinking, fear, and eating modes. And you basically, I view reptiles in those modes, and I need to make sure that I'm working within those modes. And we naturally want to work within the thinking mode. So if you go and push yourself on an animal when it's in a defensive, in a fear mode, you're not going to get the reaction you want. So I really want to see the reaction of these animals to me and to handling that it would normally have when it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
So first I have to do is establish trust. Trust is critical, and I've taken this and put it on, clearly on snakes, but I've also put it on lizards and tokay geckos and water monitor lizards and dwarf caiman and all sorts of different things, and it's very applicable. And I can do this with almost any animal that I'm able to play with. And what we do is we realize once they're calm, you get to see that they're more intelligent than we ever thought.
You know, it's pretty amazing to sit here and just play with these monitors, knowing that, you know, Toothless, Elvis came from here, you know, and to get an opportunity to mess with them is pretty darn awesome. What do we have here, man? This
okay, so this looks like a crazy, potentially co-dominant or incomplete dominant gene, I'm guessing, and I just got to get him to slow down. But this was one of these wild-caught animals that's super hard for me to acclimate. Just didn't want to eat, and we have to basically let it get its yayas out. So the trick when I'm handling something like this is to just kind of like do passive resistance.
Right. So
Yeah. So you notice I'm not getting any biting or anything like that, as long as I don't push it too far. This animal has really good claws.
Look at how gorgeous it is, though. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's
just, so it's a total hypomelanistic.
That head is ridiculous. The whole body is
so really, we call this banana.
Oh, that's banana. Oh my gosh.
Banana.
It's bananas. It is bananas. That thing is ridiculous. And so, is this a boy or girl?
This is a boy.
So you have to get a little bit, you just got to keep
on working. And I've been taking it kind of slow, but this is like literally a couple years to get it just to even like the acclimation and stuff like that, and get it so it's rolling. People want to bite you all the time, and it wanted to go kind of crazy. And now it's finally understanding things. And I haven't exceedingly worked on this animal as far as trying to calm it down, because you know it wasn't eating.
Right.
So most important thing is to get the thing established.
Okay guys, what I need you to do is we're getting down to the wire here. You know, Christmas is coming up, so you got to make sure that you check out barcheckboys.com and pick up the best, coolest merch. And you know, it'll be the coolest merch, not just in this universe, but like every universe ever. Just so make sure you check out barcheckboys.com. And if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Guys, I am super excited right now. We're just about, you know, getting done with a bunch of things. And guess what? We heard that we have monitor eggs. So tell me what we got here, dude.
So right here we have a T positive to P positive albino monitor eggs.
Gosh!
This is actually the male.
Okay.
I have the female over here in this. Oh, I can actually take her out.
This is actually a darling. One that laid?
Yeah, this is the girl that laid. She's mama.
So this is T positive to T positive?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that is so sick. And these are the eggs right here. Oh my God, what she got? She got 2, 4, 6 eggs. Holy moly, man.
Actually, I think there's 7.
There's 7
yeah,
in there?
7, there you go.
Okay,
that one's
there's
hiding
one
right
at the
there,
bottom.
yeah.
7 eggs. Oh my gosh, guys, that is insane. What a great honor. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see monitor eggs while I'm here, so I'm beyond stoked to see them. I mean, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Congratulations, dude.
Good job, mama.
Yeah, he didn't do any of that.
Yeah,
he didn't lay those eggs.
He told me he did everything.
No.
Yeah, I took a squat and I dropped them myself.
Good job, Mama. You did so good, honey. Good job. Way to go, girl. You too, Daddy.
Oh yeah, today's gold. Today's gonna be a super day, you know why? Because I got albino water monitor eggs.
So, Crispy.
Hello.
What exactly you do? What's your job here?
So I actually take care of all the monitors that we have on. Yeah. So we have 3 rooms filled with monitors. We have room 6, room 8, and room 12 that are completely filled. Room 6 has basically all the baby water monitors, and we have a few turtles. So we have Bubba the snapping turtle, we have a couple common snappers, and we have the bigger caiman, which you actually held earlier.
Yeah.
This is more like our sub-adult and / breeder groups. So on this side, we have basically all the breeder adults. Over here we have mostly breeder adults, but then some of those that we're trying to get to breeding size. And then room 12 is where we have all the bigger stuff that's ready to.
Kevin just said that I could actually pull the clutch of water monitor eggs. I've never pulled monitor eggs of any type, so this is a treat. Let's just go ahead and do this. And we're just gonna, again, just pull them out. We're gonna rotate them as much as possible.
Bounce them around.
Bounce them around. There's one. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. It's like little dinosaur eggs.
You know how long they take to hatch, Brian?
I'm gonna have a guess of 90 days?
6 months.
6 months, okay, I was wrong. 180 days. I meant 180 days.
So those are nice and fertile. See, I know you can tell. They're plump.
Plump, they're white.
So if I basically candle them, I would see almost nothing. I might see like a little blood spot, but because they're so early in the development, they take so long, you don't get this vasculated egg where we would see like in a python egg or a colubrid egg or whatever. So sometimes, so you look at that and we have 7. So sometimes you want to look around a little bit.
Yeah, just to see if there's
because they will sometimes play little games. So we might have that as being all, which is fine because I'd rather have 7 perfect eggs than 12 chunky eggs.
And you said you now float this in water.
And another bin, and you have to be very careful. I incubate these around 86 degrees.
Yeah, because listen, when you start extending the incubation time to 180 days, you make mistakes that can kind of just really become a problem. Something that in 60 days might not make as much of an issue. So that's awesome.
They're very delicate embryo.
That is crazy. Yeah, these are the cutest little things. I mean, of course, little black dragons. And how old are these?
These guys are only about a week old. Brand new babies. We can see still really curious, real nice and social. Just amazing little babies. These are 5th generation captive bred.
5th generation. That's just right. Think about that. I mean, and again, every generation, if you're breeding tame animals, of course, their offspring are going to inherit a little bit of their disposition, right? And then as soon as they hatch, what is he doing? Habituating them, touching them, desensitizing them, giving them positive reinforcement, and look, I mean, this, you know, a monitor lizard, you think it just run away like scared, and it's just like hanging out,
just checking things out. Yeah, just taking it all in. They're super smart. So when we're working with these guys, you'll see that they'll look around, they'll check out what's going on, but they're just flicking their tongues. We make sure we have positive experiences with them, and from the time they hatch out, they're usually pretty good, and then the more that you work with them, the better they become.
Yeah, and we got Toothless when it was not much larger than this. It's crazy to think that Toothless Toothless one day was not that long ago, was this big. Now he's getting so big.
And Toothless is their older brother.
The older brother, think about that. Oh my gosh, and now I want to take one of these cute little monkeys home. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, dude. And then this is a recessive mutation, so the heterozygous look more like normals.
They do, but you can actually pick them out between them and a normal water monitor, so it's almost like an incomplete dominant.
Maybe an incomplete dominant.
Where they have like a dark wash down their back, and you can pick them out. If you got them next to some het albinos or some normal water monitors, you can pick out the het black dragon.
And then these guys here are actually like kind of the hets or the visual hets, and definitely look a little bit different than a normal for sure. You can definitely see how there's that influence there. I agree with you, probably an incomplete dominant. And these are litter mates, huh?
Yeah, these are, and so these are also younger siblings to
oh my gosh, the Toothless, how freaking cool is that? And then isn't it that there's an island that these guys are...
Yeah, the Komani Island. So the Komani Island water monitors are a little bit smaller than your average Asian water monitor because the Sumatran water monitors can get up over 8 feet long. Wow. But ours are from the Komani locale, and our adults are usually about 4 to 6 feet long. So they're a little bit smaller than the real giant water monitors.
Right, gotcha, excellent. And then that's the whole thing, is that some people have bred these into other localities.
Yes.
They kind of changed it a little bit.
They did. And they've also found black dragons in several different localities. So they found them in Sumatran locality, they found them in Malaysian locality, and the Komani Island has a high concentration of them. So you find it more commonly on the Komani Island, but they've also found black dragons from Sumatra and Malaysia.
You forgot to do one job when you pulled out the monitor eggs.
What did I do? Oh, I got to mark it.
Yes. Oh, yes! To label it!
Woo! I don't understand.
We just pulled some monitor eggs.
More baby, 6 months, straight back.
Not a label.
There we go.
Woo! All right. Thank you, man.
Most important
Yeah, you
part.
put 11.
I have facts.
It's 12.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, come on. You can't take this dude anywhere.
Is a baby, ultra baby croc monitor.
Gosh, this thing is so adorable.
And I'd like to take out a number of these, but the problem is you really want to work on building positive threads. So if I'm just start showboating and I want to bring out a couple of them, I can give a very bad experience. So I'm kind of just working on establishing trust. So their first inclination is to bite us.
Yep.
So we're getting them past the biting, and then you do supportive therapy. So like right here, this is a good positive experience, and you want to build like these little threads. So even if I had an episode lasting only 10 seconds where I'm actually able to go into the animal's cage, get the animal to touch me, have some kind of interaction with me, and then get out of the cage without freaking out, that's all positive. If I had this animal and the animal just like runs off and falls or something like that and has something really bad,
experience.
Yeah.
And it's gonna remember it because they're so smart.
Yeah,
they have that memory.
And they're so like, you know, rubbing them and all that. So this animal's now watching tortoises on the ground, trying to figure out what that is. So it knows that everything wants to predate it.
Yeah, and of course croc monitors are crazy when it comes to intelligence. I mean, even much more so than anything. I mean, it's insane how smart they are.
But you can raise these friendly, and they just have the goods. They have very strong teeth that have real good serrations, and they are very reactive. They're even more reactive than a water monitor. So, but they're definitely, the intelligence is right up there with water monitors. What's nice about water monitors versus croc monitors, water monitors are a little less apt to be so reactive, and they'll pull back and think. These guys react first, and that's where, you know, we can get these lacerating bites and whatever. So these are getting impossible to get. They're very difficult to breed. This is actually a captive hatched animal. One thing we're noticing is we're having a fair bit of aggression with female and the male, and they don't lay eggs like my other monitors do, so we're trying to dial in. Just getting them to nest is a significant thing. So we've had 2 nestings recently. They're still infertile eggs. We've had breeding. We're seeing visual breeding. So we're kind of getting this thing dialed in. Hopefully at some point as I start changing my enclosures, I can definitely dial it in. So it's something we will be breeding. But to say that these are easy to breed would just be untrue.
Right, yeah. They're incredible. I mean, what an amazing...
Total prehensile tail, unlike a lot of other monitors. So this is a tree dragon.
Yes, a tree dragon.
This is the longest monitor in the world.
Because of that tail. That tail can sometimes be up to 6 foot. It's pretty insane. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, you can definitely check out Kevin's channel. I'll put a link in the description as well as pin a comment. A lot of other cool stuff over there. Go show him some love, please. If you did like this video, here's another monitor video that we did. Entire playlist of some awesome stuff if you don't mind checking that out. Over here, you can hit that subscribe button, turn the post notification on if you don't mind. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to somebody. I promise I'll see you guys tomorrow.